casted Saber once. Damn.
Just make sure my overlays are working correctly.
Dude, I haven't casted in so long. Or at least me and you haven't casted together in a really long time.
Yep. All right, cool. Yeah, if you missed last week, Spirit 8 is actually Chichen Nuggets.
Damn. What a name.
They went 2-0 in their matchup against not Relegades United, the Savage Desperados? Is that the matchup? Let me go look. Yes, that is correct. Ooh, I'm clean. Savage Desperados 2-0. Fantastic matchup. If you have some time, go ahead and watch that series because they had exquisite map control, which
the golds and golds and platinums have map control.
Dude, you gotta watch that. You gotta watch that set. It was so cool.
Wait, actually?
Yeah, it was so nice. I was extremely impressed. But yeah, as these guys get situated, let me let it.
Wait, what are the team names?
This is Relegades United on the blue versus Spirit 8 on the red. How is Hopalicious joint? Dude, stop that.
Ooh. We're starting. Nice. Oh, no, we're not. Never mind.
Well...
Well, wait, Ascension eSports has a Patreon?
Dude, I'm gonna go put some money in the Patreon.
Really? I'm broke. No, I'm not. But
think about it, dude. One less pizza is the difference between the community popping off and not.
Okay, no, I like my pizza though.
One
I
less
live off of pizza.
but one less pizza for everybody. Think about how much money that is. We could be having huge prize pools and stuff.
Ooh. Right. Whoa! Everyone's leaving.
Whoa, what's going on? Game canceled.
It's like left and right, people just start leaving. Wait a minute.
All right, I guess we're remaking. I don't know what the hell happened.
Here, I'm gonna go advertise. And by advertising, I mean go into the Ascension eSports Discord and add everybody. Add everyone. Dude, I do the most clickbait advertisements.
Hey, once again, the best two teams come head to head, and the culmination of the best matchup you've ever seen.
No, dude, no, the saved one is stretch. Wait, no, that's not right. Hold on. Casting. Oh. Oh. The saved one in stretch casting? What? Are you kidding me? No, that's it. Yo, what do you think of the new Urgot, dude? What do you think about it?
Hold on, sorry, I was making sure I've got it right. Game lobby is full. I think he's dope. The first time I looked at him and I was like, all right, that leg thing is going to be completely impossible to work. And then I saw he had a cinch flip and I was like, I mean, he's from Zon, so if you're from Zon, you get a flip now. Or he's been in Zon or something like that. I don't know the lore. He's mechanized, man. He's got.
Oh no, it's like the lore is like Swain killed him or something, and then people were like, "Nope, you're not dying."
Yeah, he looks dope. I think I'm gonna play him a lot.
I did like a reaction to it.
Dude, I saw that.
Okay, did you see my facial reaction during the ultimate?
No. I mean, yeah, but I don't remember like what it was.
Yeah, I was freaking out. That's basically it.
Oh, okay.
Cause like, there was like a grenade launcher, and then it like stuck onto the guy for the first demonstration, and it didn't do anything. And then it had like, there was like this icon that showed up if the person's low, and then all of a sudden, I'm the play-by-play caster. Look at me.
Yeah.
No, that's you. And he just tears up the other guy. Oh. Whew. Urgot mains beware.
I think the funniest thing I've seen so far is my brother's status on his League of Legends client. It's just, he's got shotgun knees. He's got shotgun knees, dude.
I guess Riot kind of took the meat grinder that I suggested.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. I created an idea. Look at me.
Hey, nice one, dude.
Yeah.
Your check's in the mail.
You should have a hook for a belly button. Yes.
Yeah, what about well, no, see, your suggestion was a belly button hook shot. You never had the idea to have a meat grinder. They thought that was...
It's close enough, dude. At least give me like a high five.
Yeah, I mean, you can get a high five, but I'm not going to pay you any money, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I just want a high five from Riot. That's all I want.
Okay, yeah.
I just want Mark Merrill to grace me from his hand. Casters are bad? Are you kidding me? I thought it was pretty good.
Oh my goodness, dude.
I thought I'm pretty good.
Casters are bad. We're not the ones who had to remake the lobby.
Yeah.
You chimps.
Alright, we'll just leave.
Alright, yeah, you guys have a good time. Anyway, welcome to Ascension eSports, my friends. Once again, we finally have a lobby rolling here. My name is Stretch, and I'll be doing your play-by-play casting today. Joining me is, of course, TheSavedOne, back from a 3-week hiatus of just sore throats, sickness, hangovers, getting lost in the woods, and who knows what else. Saved, how did you clamber your way back into your own home this week?
Well, I slowly crawled myself back into my own basement, and now I'm here.
Hey, there you go.
And now I'm good.
Hey, nice one, man.
And we are introduced with two teams, Relegades United versus Spirit 8.
Exactly. Spirit 8, for those who are underinformed, used to be Chicken Nuggets or Chicken Nougats. However else you want to pronounce it, man. It's actually a little bit of a tongue twister. I like the Spirit 8 better. I like that tag. It's a little bit more rememberable. A little bit of a callback, I guess, to Team 8.
An eye for an eye.
But regardless, let's see how these guys perform this week. Coming off of a dominating victory over the Savage Desperados. But all that information aside, let's get into these picks and bans here straight away. Relegades United taking away the Cassiopeia, Echo, and Caitlyn off of the list there against Spirit 8.
So that's very interesting, right? Because Caitlyn, we all know Caitlyn to be that kind of long-ranged ADC, top tier at the moment. But they just want to take that off the board. They don't want to really deal with the headshot damage. No one really likes that. As for the Echo and the Cassiopeia, I'm guessing those are target bans, just because you don't really see those a whole lot being prioritized first rotation. As for the red side, though, we got Rakan in the bot lane. He's very strong. Kale and Shin as well. Strong champions, but I'm guessing that they're target bans.
Yep, exactly. And speaking of target bans, different mid laner, I believe, for Spirit 8, Misteltein. I don't remember them being there last week, so we'll have to see how they perform this week. Going straight into the picks, though, Zach already just grabbed up by Relegades United, one of the most contested picks and bans in all of League of Legends right now.
And that's interesting, because usually you would ban Zach on blue side unless the red side bans it. Right, and that's almost kind of just like an obvious thing. But if you are on red side, you want to just take the Zac off of the board just because of that first pick prioritization. And this is exactly what Relegades United just capitalized on. They saw that Spirit 8 don't really want to take away the Zac. They just want to give the Zac away. But the thing is, Zac's got an 111% ban rate in solo queue.
111% ban rate. Wow.
He's insane, dude. He's a crazy champion, and we're gonna be seeing it here in this game.
Yeah. That being said, Victor and Braum, the other two picks for that team, so a lot of frontal zoning control through those two champions. But moving over to Spirit 8, they've got a lot of comboing and burst potential so far. Orianna, Warwick, and Tristana, their first three picks.
It almost kind of looks like that Spirit 8 is setting up this single target style comp with the Tristana and the Warwick, because Warwick can lock somebody down, Tristana can focus one target as well, and then she just gets resets off of one kill. Orianna tops this comp off really nicely just because she's an AoE champion, so if you bundle up people together, Tristana can also use her AoE in some senses, but she's looking to get some resets. Warwick, he's looking to maybe find a pick or maybe try and start a fight with his speed.
That being said, going into the second round of bans here, both teams saying, you know what, we don't want you to counter tanks. And then the other side saying, you know what, same to be honest. And then they've got the Fiora and Trundle bans off the board, two of the best counter tank champions in the entire game. So you can expect that the top laners are going to be looking for those heavy frontline meatheads to round out these compositions.
Yeah, and I also really do like what Spirit 8 follow up with the bans itself. They follow up with the Janna, a very safe style ADC to back up that Tristana, because we all know Tristana to not be a lane bully. She usually just stays passively. If she can get a kill, then she will get a kill. But she's looking to farm up, she's looking to get a couple of items. Once she gets those items, then she can pop off. Janna allows her to do that very nicely.
Yeah, not only that, but Janna offers a huge amount of additional turret pressure for this Tristana. Tristana, one of the best champions alongside Jinx for taking down those towers. So if you can get that pressure under your belt, Janna is the perfect tool to accelerate that potential. Going into this last round of picks there, Varus picked up for...
Oh, is it a placeholder?
Yeah, I think so. Actually, it might be. Yeah. We'll see we'll see what the actual placeholders are here, but if it actually is Janna Tristana, that is such a good composition for taking turrets.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about that side specifically, but I was talking about the Aatrox.
Right.
Because they locked in Aatrox, and I was just like, wait a minute.
Dude, people don't know the power. You've seen it. You've seen it.
You showed me it.
You've seen it in the right hands. Like, it's ridiculous when played correctly, but I don't think we're going to be seeing it here today. That Aatrox likely to be a placeholder for something a little bit more high value in team play.
But as we as these teams round off the comps, we'll just go through the bans. Not the same bands, maybe the same bands, but we have a little bit of an idea of what the comps are.
Yeah, a little bit of the rounding, a little bit of what's been showed here. I think that the most interesting thing that we've seen in the matchup so far is the Orianna Warwick. That's a huge amount of lockdown and burst that you can put down on a single target. And it also sets up the potential, because of that front end burst, you have a lot of mobility on your Tristana, if that's what they intend on going for their AD carry. It means that you can really put a lot of pressure on anyone who's standing next to the tanks, or if you find a clean flank on Warwick, you always have the opportunity to fear people out of position. So we'll see how Spirit 8 ends up playing that composition, and Relegades United actually can't remember what theirs ended up being. Gnar in the top lane, it looks like. All right, what is going on?
What are these monkeys doing?
All right, I'm a little bit...
Not like this. That's what I'm like right now.
Let's go, dude.
Dude, I'm ready. I just want to cast.
I'm just putting my R in there. I'm ready to go.
Just go. Let's go, boy.
Yeah. I'm ready.
R.
Exactly. We immediately leave champ select because something went wrong. R.
Oh, he DC'd.
All right, a little bit of a connection issue from these guys. Unfortunate, but that being said, let me see if I can recall what the picks were going to be for Relegades United.
I love how you do that. It's just like you make a sentence longer than it actually should be.
Yeah.
Because you want to try and stall.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to see.
Yeah.
And then
just
this whole entire
trying to remember what the
What the heck?
Yeah, we're ready.
Yes,
dude.
we're ready. We've been ready this whole time.
Let's get
go.
back in there.
I want to get hyped for some gold games, dude.
God, take it,
I'm
dude.
ready.
Why you gotta be like that?
Wait, what?
You don't have to say gold games. You can just say...
Oh yeah, I'm ready for some League of Legends.
There you go, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait, they're out of order. They gotta get back in. They gotta back. Yeah.
Freaking. I'm gonna leave.
All right, here we go.
Yo, Chad, how you guys doing today?
Exactly. You know, is your Saturday really treating you right, treating you well? I hope so.
My Saturday's treating me pretty right. I like my Saturday.
Yeah, dude, it's pretty good. My roommate's got his family over. Then I found out that my other roommate also has his family over, and I'm just hiding away in my room, avoiding literally everyone. I'm like, hey, you guys are probably great humans, but I don't want to interact with you.
They just hear you shouting, and it's like, wait, what's that guy doing?
What's he doing in there?
Don't worry, that's Stretch. He's special.
Yeah, he screams a lot.
Yeah.
He's trying to turn his screaming into money. We don't know if it's gonna work, but we're just gonna nod and smile.
One day.
That's about it.
Save to move down. Will do, my friend.
There you go. All right.
Hey, what do you think?
Here we
what do
go.
you think of Kane, dude?
What do I think of Kane? I think Kane looks weird because like your abilities change or something based on who you kill, right? So is that always swapping?
Oh no, it's either one takes over the other does.
So it's just one. It's just he's like two champions.
Yep.
Huh. Okay. Well, that's interesting.
Same abilities, but like they do a little bit of different things.
Okay. I got
Yeah,
you.
it's kind of interesting. What casters are casting the Savage Peanut games? I don't know. I show up and I see my name on the list, and I'm like,
well, let me check the schedule for you. I can answer that question.
It's the last you'll
Damn.
get.
Love D and TBA. TBA
you want save one.
means, I guess, to be assigned. Like, they haven't determined who is going to be casting that. I think someone wasn't able to. You might end up getting Love D Huppalicious over there, because I know Huppalicious was looking for somewhere to cast today. So that might end up being the duo. But going back into our matchup over here, we've got some pretty solid team comps so far. Relegades United going to end up with the Nar, Zach, Victor. And then was their support? It was Varus Braum.
That's insane AoE.
Yeah, dude. They have a lot of catch potential here and good zoning control. Their backline should be super comfortable right here. Just because Victor usually takes that place of a tank in a team fight, he kind of provides his own zoning for the backline. So having that stacked on top of Zach and Nar is amazing for them. They should be doing consistent damage throughout the entirety of their team fights.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, like it's all about timing as well, right? Because if you go in at the wrong time on Zach, then you find yourself 1v5 in the enemy team. Same thing could be said with Nar. So I think that this team needs to really have a lot of synergy if they do want to synergize their AoE. Because it's not as simple as just saying, all right, we're going to fight, let's just go fight. But it's like, all right, now I have Mega Nar, now I'm going to jump in, I'll flash into the enemy team. But then Varus Braum also has to communicate to the rest of their team about just cooldowns and all this stuff.
Yeah, very true. Just taking a look at Spirit 8 as well. Nautilus, Warwick, Orianna, Tristana, and Janna. The thing that I'm seeing here is there is a Nautilus in existence and two different shield champions in the game. What is Relegades United going to have to do to cut through this massive front line? Because this Nautilus is going to be absolutely enormous.
Yeah. I think that they really just have to delete the Orianna Tristana first. But the thing is that they have so much peel. So it's almost kind of... They just need to like get the right wombo combo team fight. Because if Relegades United gets the right fight, then they can win. As weird as that sounds.
Right.
So if they like don't get picked, let's just say like they're in like a tussle mid lane type of thing, and then Zach engages Victor, he lays down his ultimate, Varus is coming in and just shooting people, Nar goes in with his Mega Nar and just shoves some people out of the way, right? Then all of that peel almost kind of gets eliminated, because Janna can only shield so much. Nautilus, he can go in, but at the end of the day, he's just still a tank. Warwick, he's a tank and he deals damage. So I think that the three main things that I would worry about this team is not really the Nautilus, but I would worry about the Warwick, Orianna, Tristana, just because of like their late game and just how much pressure that they are going to have in those later team fights. But then if you just talk about in the whole entire game, Varus and Braum in this lane is going to be kind of like that lane bully style lane. Tristana's just going to be shoving that whole entire lane just because of her like the passive. I think it's on her E.
Yes.
Not too sure. So they'll just get shoved in, which could set up really, really nice ganks for Zach. And we all know and love Zach to pull off these kind of weird angles and just launch his E. And it's like, wait, where did he come from? And then the next second, Tristana's dead or has blown a flash. So it's going to be interesting to see how these guys play out team fights.
Yeah, very, very true. I want to go through these lanes one at a time just real quick. Maybe not all of them, but just a couple of them. Because I think there's some interesting things to talk about here. Gnar against Nautilus probably going to be the one that I want to talk about the most. Just because I think that they bring two different things to the table. Gnar wanting to be that lane bully, and Nautilus really just trying to survive so he can set up his team in the late game. What kind of things do these guys need to be doing or looking for to become successful in their top lane role?
It's going to be cool because Gnar is that type of champion that can burst down tanks very easily with his W passive. But the thing is, Nautilus, he's almost kind of looking to farm. He's not really looking to trade. He's not really looking to kill. If he can kill and if he can set up for his Warwick, then that's his objective. But if the Warwick kind of just like leaves him up there, then Nautilus's main objective is to farm. But the thing is, Gnar is really, really good at poking down this Nautilus and getting the 3-hit passive off. Also, Gnar has an escape. So it's going to be a very tough lane for Nautilus, I think. But he's also a very tanky champion, so he can survive in the lane. But if he prioritizes correctly, then I think he can survive.
All right. I completely agree with that one. Nautilus definitely needs to farm it out. But taking a step into the mid lane here, Victor versus Orianna. Probably the definition of a skill matchup, if I had to say so here. But is there anyone in here that you'd say that's got an advantage, or do you think that they're just completely evenly matched?
I think that Orianna, just a little bit. Just because if you think of Victor's all-in burst, then he has his Q, but he has to get up to auto range in order to do that. Plus his laser. His laser is pretty long ranged. But then he also has a W, which is pretty hard to hit. So the only way that he would ever use his W is if he wants to get off some easy burst onto the Orianna. To slow her down, then press E, then press Q. But while he's doing that, Orianna has a shield. But then she also has her QW. And then all of those cooldowns are pretty low so that Orianna can sustain perfectly. I think it's going to be a very interesting lane matchup. And like you said, it's going to be a skill matchup.
Yeah, that being said, guys, we're going to step into our loading screen. Give us just a minute while we get the game set up and loaded up. And we'll see you guys in just a second.
Dusty basement where we met, I was surprised so much because you're talking now. I gotta find the truth from all those fights, but I'm all alone. You're the only one who can help me out. We'll be as one.
And that's it. The shortest loading screen on the face of the planet. Guys, we are already into game number 1 of our set. Once again, Spirit 8 versus Relegades United. And do I have the right... My team names are backwards, dude. Give me just a second to fix these up and give me an introduction for Relegades United.
Alright, so over onto the blue side, we got Relegades United, Re-Crisis in the top lane, Godfist Yasuo in the jungle, Allspark in the mid lane, Come On Shoot Faster on ADC, and Aloe Akbar Boom on support.
And on the red side is Spirit 8, Cyber to God up in the top lane. Jungle is Astrus, mid lane, Mistletoe, AD carry is TSM Loose Cannon, and support Mimikyu.
I was very happy that I didn't have to announce that name. Or all of those names.
Yeah.
It looks very hard.
Some of them are a little bit interesting.
Yeah. I was like, please give me the blue side, and then you did, and I was like, yes! Yes! I was so happy about that. But nothing really happening here in this early game. We usually see, maybe like in game number 3, if it does go to game number 3, a little bit maybe of an invade, but both teams just want to play it very passive here.
Yeah, really no problem for these guys. Just hanging out, making sure that they are safe for their level 1. Don't want to give any advantages, and not taking the risk to really get any of that early game vision either. They're really concerned on making sure that their junglers have solid standard starts, and they want to make sure that that farm is coming through nice and clean.
It's also really cool because both of these junglers are starting on the opposite sides of the map. Usually we see that on blue side, you want to start on the right side to get the better leash, but Zach, he's maybe looking to apply some early game pressure here in the bot lane or maybe even in the mid lane, even maybe to get some vision on maybe like around the river, because he's starting in the top side, so he's going to eventually end up there in the bot side. So very interesting start from the Zach.
Allspark applying pressure in the mid lane already against Mistletoe, just making sure that he constantly throws out this Q, gets the shield there, and just trades back. Both these mid laners trading their Thunderlord's Decree already. Got this Yasuo just farming out his blue side jungle. Like you were saying, just looking to path towards that bottom lane and try to lay down some pressure. There's a lot of gank potential that can come out with this Braum in this lane, especially when you are layering on top the knockup from Zach.
Yeah, Braum is a very good champion at setting up these type of ganks. He's also can pull off some very unexpected style ganks because he can W to a minion and then immediately press Q, and that's what a lot of Braum players like to do because it's a lot of unexpected burst and a lot of unexpected engage. But we see there in the bot lane as well, Braum tries to throw out a Q. He misses it though, but it activates the Tristana W.
Yeah, just laying down the pressure here. Good job by Alua Akbar Boom, just making sure that he stays up and relevant. That's one thing that I typically see a lot of these melee support players mess up, is that they play a little bit too far back, but when you're in melee range, it means that you've got an additional amount of distance that you need to cover before you can start getting those auto attacks down. So positioning far forward, and especially having an AD carry like Come On Shoot Faster who's ready to go aggressive, really helps him stay relevant.
Yeah, gank towards the mid lane, but nothing happened.
Yeah, nothing to come of that one just yet. Asterisk just trying to throw down the gauntlet and make sure that Allspark knows that he's definitely ready to come in for that gank. He did get the flash out of Allspark in that gank there, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's definitely really good. You want to come back to a lane like that if you are Warwick, but he's also applying a lot of lane pressure, so he's looking towards his bot lane. The Zac tried to do the same thing in the mid lane.
Good pull back on the Zac there. Really good, really good stretching strike. He actually covered a huge amount of distance with that pullback.
Yeah, it was also very unexpected because Orianna, she saw the Zac and was like, I don't really want to flash anything, and he's not really going to kill me. She also still has her cleanse up. So, a little bit of a misplay by the Orianna there in the mid lane, but very nice to get an early kill onto the Victor.
Yeah, a lot of disrespect coming out there from Mistletoe, just thinking that they weren't going to get hit by that additional Victor burst, but that stretching strike definitely put her in the position that they needed to get that kill pickup. Zac in the bottom lane looking for that gank we were talking about earlier on in the cast, but not going to find anything of it as they were able to get a ward over the wall into that river brush and scout him out.
He wants to make something happen here in this bot lane. He's trying to do this lane-style gank, and this is what a lot of junglers don't do, where they'll wrap around completely and they'll stay here in this bot lane. But the thing is, when you have a Janna here beside your Tristana, it's a lot of disengage, so I don't think Zac wants to be down here at the moment.
Yeah, but looking like he's going to go in the jump anyway. Good knockup going to come through there, forcing the flash out of Mimikyu immediately. Heal forced to be paused by TSM Loose Cannon to keep Mimi alive. And still, despite the patience there, he gets rewarded with some summoner spells from the enemy team.
Yeah, he gets the Janna flash and he also gets the Tristana heal, but you really do have to ask yourself, is that worth it and can I come back for something else? Because when you do gank, of course, putting down pressure is really, really good, but if you can get a kill, it's amazing. But if you can get a flash and then that's later a thing that you can abuse, then that's even better.
Yeah, meeting in the brush here. Just a quick blast cone over the corner of the wall there to disengage any potential meeting by the two teams. Alua Akbar really not looking to go for anything besides that deep vision that he was able to get down on that blue buff. So really trying to keep track of where Asterisk is going on the map because they can't really afford to have Allspark give up his lead due to a mid lane gank.
Yeah, we also see that Zac's here. He's kind of hovering in between all of these lanes. He wants to try and pull something off. He's done one thing there in the early game. He got the kill onto the Orianna. He's maybe trying to look for another gank onto her, maybe to try and blow some summoner spells. If you can burn the cleanse, that would be really good, just because it's a gank opportunity. So let's see if he does it.
Yeah, pull in towards the minions there. Once again, the stretching strike making good contact, actually keeping Orianna in place, but that flash out makes sure that Missile Team can stay alive. Definitely taking a lot of health out of their health bar, though.
This is definitely a thing that Zach can abuse here at a later date, knowing that Orianna does not have her flash. It's also something that they can almost combo, because if Zach comes in with another E,
yeah, mid lane, shockwave blown by Orianna, just trying to keep Victor under the turret. Not going to find anything there, though.
But yeah, another thing that Zach can abuse later on is if he E's in. If Orianna does cleanse that, but Victor has already placed down his W, then the W just stuns, and she can't cleanse two things at once, obviously. So she almost kind of gets killed because of that.
Yeah, so much CC available for those mid lane ganks between Victor and Zach that it's difficult for Orianna to really pick an ability that she wants to negate. Bottom side, though, it looks like RGU has found the first dragon of the game, and that's really going to be helpful for this Victor.
Yeah, I really love seeing these type of dragons, the very aggressive style of dragons, and by that, I do mean the Mountain and the Infernal, just because it adds a lot of opportunity for both of these teams to maybe do something new that they wouldn't have done without those dragons. So now that they do have this Infernal dragon, they can apply a lot more damage. Now noting that Janna does not have her flash, so maybe Zach's trying to go towards his bot lane to maybe look for something?
Yep. Just elastic slingshotting in there. Not going to find anything, though. Top lane, a little bit of trading between Recrisis and Cyber to God. We talked about how Cyber to God was going to have a hard time in this lane, but so far he's definitely holding his own.
Yeah, he's prioritizing farming over fighting, and you can see that in his CS scores. And you can also see that he's really prioritizing farm, just because of the items that he chose. The Bomb Sender, it did get buffed, how it's now a less cost, so he can go back to base, he can get that plus just a little bit more. He got the Mana Crystal, and he also got the cloth armor.
Yeah. Really looking to get tanky as quickly as possible. Recall being channeled by Astrus as in the mid lane. Allspark just trying to zone Missile Team off that minion wave as much as possible. Just keep them underneath the turret. Being said, bottom lane, TSM, Loose Cannon, and Mimikyu are completely left alone, able to farm out the remainder of this wave before going back to base. And they're sitting on a decent chunk of gold there. 2k gold for TSM, Loose Cannon. Top lane, they have a turnaround, though. Cyber to God going aggressive against Recrisis. The speed from Gnar gets popped there, and he's trying to kite this one out. He's getting a little bit too saucy. The flash underneath the turret for Cyber to God, and the reaction flash from Recrisis. Those guys actually kind of flashing at the same time. No kill net. Oh, never mind. Astrus comes in from off screen and just zeroes him out, eats him alive.
That was beautifully played.
Wait, but it's not over. Godfist Yasuo now is the next one. And because of the Bamboo Cinder purchase, he procs turn aggro immediately. Mid lane, Missile Team going very low. Chaos Storm's not quite able to catch up and finish the kill, but Allspark says, I'll do it by myself. Wait, he didn't have to run that way. He could have gone between the turrets and lived.
Wait a minute. He had Ghost as well.
Oh,
so maybe he could have avoided a tower shot. That's unlucky, man.
That's too bad.
Well, everything just happened all in 1 second, but the reason why that top lane fight went so in favor of Nautilus is just because Gnar missed his time to back. So what happened was Gnar pushed in the top lane initially. It forced Nautilus to back. Once Nautilus backed, he TP'd back into lane with stronger items than Gnar had, obviously. Gnar only had the Doran's Blade. So Gnar, in that sense, missed his opportunity to go back to base and then TP back. But that also meant that Gnar was really low on damage. So Nautilus capitalized on that and got himself a kill. But Nautilus got too greedy. Or not Nautilus. Wait.
Yep, he did.
Yeah, Nautilus got too greedy.
That being said, though, Gnar is still in no position to really fight Nautilus here. Look at the amount of tankiness that Cyber to God has under his belt already. And without that Black Cleaver finish up, it's going to be a hard time for Recrisis.
Yeah, it's not going to be a fun time for this Gnar. We know Gnar is lane bully, but in the bot lane.
Bottom lane gank knocks some heads together and interrupts the Tristana jump. Chains of Corruption combined with the Braum ultimate come out, and Mimikyu goes down immediately. TSM loose cannon forced to flash out so they don't get snared up by that Varus ultimate. And then another jump in immediately. They actually don't get the stretching strike to keep them in place, but either way, they're able to get some additional damage down there despite going low. Mid lane, Mistletoe looking to go get the kill against Allspark. Oh man, the backup damage from the laser almost finishes off that kill, but it's not enough.
Yeah, it wasn't enough work in the bottom.
Oh, Infinite Duress down onto Aloha Akbar, flashes backwards to get the fear back in towards TSM Loose Cannon. Jump, reset in onto Come On Shoot Faster, but they can't quite finish off this kill. Still a good amount of damage available on this Varus. Jump in once again, Mistletoe looking for the kill. Actually finishes off the Zac here, I think.
Nar's got
Finish it. TP channeled by Recrisis to save his buddy. Godfist Yasuo still goes down to the auto attack, and now Astrus is here to try to dissuade Recrisis from finishing off the kill on Mistletoe.
This whole entire game went just complete sideways, which is like one play that started off in the top lane, and then it slowly escalated into the mid lane, then into the bot lane. It's not going to end, though.
Rocket jump immediately in onto Come On Shoot Faster. TSM loose cannon with so much chunking on that explosive shot.
But the one thing I do want to commend Zac for is how aggressive he is. The one thing that players really don't know how to do is just be continuously aggressive into all of these lanes. So of course, he died there in the mid lane. It's a little bit of a mistake. It's a little bit of a lead that you give over to the Orianna, but he is being this aggressive jungler that this team really does need, because this team needs a playmaker, and Zac is fitting that role.
Yeah, I like what Godfist Yasuo is doing in this matchup, because he's basically showing us, hey, I'm not afraid to immediately jump in on these team fights without any hesitation whatsoever. And when you're playing that frontline tank, and especially a hard initiator like Zac is, you've got to have that mindset. So with him on this champion, if he performs well throughout the rest of the game, this might be something that Spirit 8's got to ban. But once again, in the mid lane, gets the elastic slingshot. Are you kidding me from that range? Yeah. Oh my goodness. Shockwave goes wide there from Mistletoe, but either way, that's a clean gank coming out of Godfist Yasuo.
Yeah, the reason why that worked is because Zac started the auto attack onto the minion, and then Orianna flashed away, which meant that Orianna still got affected by the Q. But if Orianna flashed and then he auto attacked, maybe it would have been a little bit different. But Zac, again, he's looking for blood.
Yeah, but he's getting very low here. No passive available for him. He pulls them into Victor. Not going to be enough as the Infinite Duress combined with the rest of the team of Spirit 8 is coming through here. They end up picking up the kill on the Victor, and they're going to clean up these minions in mid lane, maybe even look for a dragon play.
Overall, a 2-for-1 going into the favor of Spirit 8, and this is really good because the kills went on to the right people. Also, Zac died, so now this whole entire team sees that there are objectives available, like this Wind Dragon. It really does help with the utility that they need to get away from the surprise ganks of Zac, but...
Hook in on Come On Shoot Faster, forced to use the Chains of Corruption for a disengage. No Infinite Duress available on Astrus to continue the fight, so the rest of Spirit 8 is just going to take their Dragon, take their Flash, and get out of there.
Very nice disengage coming out from Varus and Braum there in that bot lane. Yeah, just very nicely played all around. Just stopped any of the engage, any of the picks that could have happened, but didn't happen.
Yep, no continuing fight there for these guys, and at the 14-minute mark, we're sitting at roughly a 1K gold lead for Spirit 8, who is just having a decent game so far. These guys really holding on to it, even despite all of Godfist Yasuo's high-pressure ganks that he's been throwing out. So props to Spirit 8 for really making sure that they don't let that pressure overtake them. Top lane, a little bit of trading from Recrisis, just really wanting to disengage this fight, not really wanting to go against Cyber too hard, seeing how high his health and mana is and the amount of armor that's available. Bottom lane interrupts it with the elastic slingshot. Are you kidding me? Janna comes in and is looking to save this AD carry, but TSM loose cannon is too low too quick, and they knock him over.
That was an absolutely beautiful fight played by the Zac, and this is one reason why you just need to take this champion off of the board. Because if you can play Zac like this, where you can go to kind of weird angles at top lane, will Gnar die?
Yeah, top lane dive going down here by Cyber to God. Recrisis not able to get into his Mega Gnar form, and Cyber to God has no regard for the life of this turret. Bottom lane, yet again, more summoners being blown as Godfist Yasuo continues to just lay down immense pressure on these guys.
Yeah, this guy's absolutely insane. Like I was saying, just the objective control that this guy has, the aggression that he's putting on this map is allowing this team to get objectives like this bottom tier 1 tower. All you really need to do is bring the Varus into the other lanes in order to get some other objectives, because you really do need to snowball this lead.
That being said, on the top side of the map, Astrus and Cyber to God already working on that Rift Herald, taking it down very easily there. Now, they probably need to continue playing towards this top side. Cyber to God is very strong for this team, and I think that playing with the Warwick Nautilus top lane might be a good stability point for them.
Yeah, if Warwick just goes top lane and tries to put pressure in the top part of this map, then I do think that them two alone can almost carry this game completely, just because of the tankiness of Nautilus and just the amount of raw damage that tank damage Warwick can really do there in that late game. Plus the utility coming out, Tristana's going to scale no matter what once she does get her items. Plus you have to take into the factor of just the AoE that this whole entire team has. But Zach's here in the top lane, he's looking for blood.
Yep, goes in again. Elastic Flame Shot does connect very easily, as well as that Q. Still trying to fight it out. He's not able to get through Nautilus's outer crust. He's getting absolutely slammed in this matchup. The head-to-head is not a head-to-head at all. TP once again being channeled to try to save this man's life. They do get it. He might be able to survive this one. Hook comes out. He says, not today. Cyber to God, with his last breath, just completely zeroes out Godfist Yasuo.
That was beautiful. Now the thing is that Janna has turned her attention from the bot lane, is now rotated into the mid lane to try and support the amount of pressure that this blue team is putting onto this mid lane tower. But Warwick, he's looking at side lanes. He's saying, look, I want to get this Nautilus ahead, so I'm going to give him Rift Herald. I'm going to allow him to get that tier 1 tower, allow him to get some gold. Then he says, now I want to get my bot lane ahead. I'm going to go bot lane, and I'm going to try and get this tier 1 tower, which is exactly what he did. Now, tower lead is 2-1, plus you can also see in the gold lead that Spirit 8 now has a 1k lead.
Yep. Relegades United doing what they can to try to stay in this one here. The gold lead, like you're saying, having that 1k means that it's not moving too much. From the 14-minute mark, it's been 3 minutes of fairly even play as these guys trade objectives back and forth. Top lane, Recrisis once again forced to disengage against Cyber to God, who just has so much tankiness in that armor that it doesn't really matter that the Black Cleaver is finished up right now. He just does not have the magic resist to sustain through a fight against this Nautilus at the moment, and because of that, it's causing additional pressure to be required to try to handle this guy.
Yeah, Nara's trying to be useless wherever he really can, but the thing is, when you're a whole entire item down on your lane opponent, it can be very, very hard to do that. Now Nautilus, he's trying to come into this mid lane, and he's trying to apply this pressure that the tank needs to do.
Yeah, and here's the thing is, with this Nautilus here, I think that they can easily go for a dive, no problem, as long as they handle Allspark, because they've got the armor to tank up the turret damage and any damage that's coming out of Varus. So as long as Nautilus comes in first, they've got Janna and Orianna to shield him up, so he can stay under that turret for quite a bit of time.
Yeah, and Janna doesn't even really need to make these flashy style plays either. All she really needs to do is stay beside her carry and just shield the heck out of them. Even the exhaust, if someone tries to jump onto this Tristana and try and just kill her, then Janna can ult, or she can exhaust that target.
More pressure being applied here by Relegades United. They really want to finish off this last fourth of a turret. Jump in comes in from Zach. Once again, it's Mimikyu to go down first this time. Warwick gets hand delivered back into the middle of the team, and he uses Infinite Duress to actually get out of that fight. Chaos Storm now on top of Mistletoe. They're able to kite that one out, though. And once again, it's the Zach pressure, the Zach aggression from Godfist Yasuo, who's able to just open up doors for his team here.
Dude, this man's just laughing in the backline. He's like, yeah, you saw what I just did, and it was very, very nice. Now, he's trying to look for a pick target onto the Nautilus.
Dude, you don't ban Zach, you're under attack. Once again, Elastic Slingshot down onto Nautilus. In the backline, though, Warwick's got a fantastic position to make something happen.
Reset.
I think they've bitten off more than they can chew, as this Nautilus is so hard for them to actually kill. Zach actually going down very low here. They can't quite finish him. They finally do get him. TSM, loose cannon, can't quite finish it. Does get it in the end with the explosive.
Yeah, that was a very, very nice play by the Tristana. And now that they did capitalize on that Nautilus misplacement, or not the Nautilus misplacement. Now that they got engaged on and they completely annihilated all but one of Relegades United, now they're focusing onto the Baron.
Yeah, Baron, easy take for these guys as well. Look at the size of that Nautilus shield when combined with Janna. It's absolutely enormous, and if you're Relegades United, you have to be thinking about that. We've got they're thinking we've got a Varus with Black Cleaver, but without the armor penetration and without the consistent focus by Gnar, it's still gonna be a long job for you guys for them to take down that frontline tank. So they really need to figure out how they're gonna get more gold onto this 80 carry so they can actually have a better time of getting past this Nautilus and getting to that squishy backline.
Yeah, and I'm looking at this whole entire comp, and the thing is, of course, Warwick and Nautilus are basically carrying this whole entire team on their back. But you also have to commend the Orianna for staying alive that whole entire fight, because she still has her cleanse, she still has her flash. But it was a very, very nice shockwave that she put down. But then even the Tristana, the aggression that she's putting out with the items that she does have, and she's also killing targets by flashing in, and she's doing whatever she can. Plus the Janna, you know, she doesn't really have an assist, she's kind of there, but the redemption was useful in the fight.
Definitely true, and with that Baron buff under their belt, they're going to be looking for this Ocean Drake immediately. Godifus Yasuo probably has the mindset that he can go in for a steal, but it's going to be a little bit too late on the horizontal jump. Just try to get that cheeky smite. I'm not going to find it, though.
Yeah, a couple of seconds late, but it's a very valiant effort coming in from this Zac. But the two dragons that we have seen after that Infernal were very utility-style based, which is exactly what Spirit 8 wants for their team. They want to stay alive as long as possible, but they also want to pull off these rotations with the Baron that they do have. And you see that the towers that they have taken are only in the side lane. They really want to crack this mid lane open, but they also really do want to crack the tier 2 towers. Because once that happens, then you can move on to the next phase of the game.
Yeah, that being said, look at how hard of a time they're having actually getting to that mid lane turret, though. The clear from both Varus and Victor is so hard to work unless you step out too far from the safety of your home. Come on, shoot faster, taken down immediately. A little bit of a gank up in the top lane, but they're not going to find anything on Cyber to God, who is just a walking fortress. He's so hard to kill.
We spoke so early on that. It's almost kind of like the caster curse. Right when we say something, all of a sudden, Varus gets picked off. Zac maybe looking for a 1v5.
Mid lane, trying to find a let's bounce towards their team. Chaos Storm goes down on the Astrus, but he's already got the magic resist to tank this entire thing up, no problem. TSM loose cannon. Nightbot will find additional shots onto Aloha Akbar because of that Braum ultimate slow, and they're just going to reset this one, maybe heal up a little bit on their Janna ulti, and just keep pushing in.
Yeah, the first tier 2 falls there in that top lane as well. Nautilus just putting that aggression there in the top lane, knowing that he's just that much stronger than the Gnar. Gnar also doesn't have boots, but that's besides the point. Basically, this Nautilus is a beast.
Yeah, pretty much. Cyber to God really showing us, hey, Nautilus isn't the champion that you think he is. He definitely does not have a hard time against Gnar if you play the matchup correctly. And he's showing us that not only does he not have a hard time, but it appears like there's a critical mass to Nautilus where once you get past that early game lull, once you're able to get enough points in your W, it doesn't matter what champion you're facing. You're just going to be able to take up so much of a trade that anything's good for you.
Yeah, exactly. This Gnar in the early game had a little bit of lane bully pressure, but the thing is, Nautilus just got going from that one kill, and now he's this absolute beast. He's currently, I believe he's working towards... What is he working towards? Oh, is it Abyssal Mask?
Yes, that is an Abyssal Mask build. Mid lane jump in, interrupts yet again. Rocket jump completely zeroed out, and come on, shoot faster, nets himself a kill. Aloha Akbar looking for more, but the rest of the team's just not following up on that. Doesn't want to continue off into the jungle.
This Zac is trying to tilt the enemy as much as possible. He's also looking for maybe a little bit of an engage in the side corridor.
Yeah, small space, good spot for an Orianna ultimate. They get jumped in with the Let's Bounce, all sparked to pick up the first kill on Mimikyu in the fight. Zac passive has been popped here as Mistletoe steps up, looking for some damage, but has already used the shockwave, so nothing additional to be found here. Elastic slingshot yet again to pick up the kill on Warwick. Astrist having a hard time handling this Zac, who is going monstrous in this game.
See, the thing is that Varus is in the backline and he's just shooting the enemy over and over again. And the thing that is so sad if you're this red team right now is when you see the Varus free-shotting you and you cannot do anything about that. Now Tristana, she's alive. She's trying to defend this tower as much as possible. all of these members are so low. If she can get 1 kill, maybe a reset's gonna happen.
Yeah, it could happen. Maybe a jump in, not gonna find it, but straight into the gravity. Forced to actually flash out of that Gnar ultimate. Would have been their death instantly, so good reaction to know I have messed up my positioning and I need to get out of here immediately.
She wanted to try and show that aggression, but the thing is, when you jump into 4 people, you don't want to do that, because immediately you basically think that if you're when you are this blue team, you think that you have nothing to lose at this point, because you either die to the Tristana just free hitting you, or you turn on her and then just kill her. And then once she's dead, you just back it once again. So that was almost kind of like the thing that the blue team was going to do there, but the Tristana was smart. She flashed out.
Yeah, it was like RGU was waiting for that to happen, waiting to see if the Trist. They knew for a fact that it was 2 shots. It was 1 or 2 shots for each of those low health members to get those resets going. So heads up play by Recrisis, knowing that it was a high chance that TSM Loose Cannon was going to jump in there, and immediately getting that flash out of the Tristana, having that flash off the board is enormous, because we've seen already Godfist Yasuo with those elastic slingshots times them in such a way that he's able to interrupt the rocket jump. I don't know if he's triggering it just a little bit earlier than Loose Cannon's expecting, but he's landing these pretty consistently.
I think that Loose Cannon is just kind of panicking in that sense, because what's happening is he sees a Zac coming towards him, but then he almost kind of like slow-mo thinks, oh no, and then jumps away. So in the middle of his jump, Zac finally lands, and then that's what interrupts it.
And there's also always the opportunity for him to just completely use his ultimate to knock the Zac back. Astralis on the side trying to get a little bit of hatred onto Godfist Yasuo, infinite duress channeling, or stuck onto Comanche Faster, who immediately throws down the chains of corruption. Godfist Yasuo is completely splitting up everyone on Spirit 8. Astra staying alive thanks to a lot of the healing. Cyber to God the next one to walk in, but the rest of the damage dealers just are not in position to react to this tanky front line. No one ready to really follow up there, as they were still coming back and gathering their items.
My initial thought when I saw that was, what the heck is he doing? But then I started to think, and I'm like, wait, that's actually a perfect idea, because you take a couple of members away from their team, away from the peel. So once you take the Nautilus and the Warwick away from the Shockwave or the Tristana damage, or even just the Janna shields, then you basically just have these 2 tanks that are getting free hit by 5 people.
Yeah, just isolating people, and that's really what that Zac Ultimate's all about. It doesn't matter who you isolate, as long as you're able to isolate someone cleanly, and using the terrain to separate them from their team like that opens up huge windows. Oh my goodness. Mistletoe able to pick up a kill with the Shockwave there, taking out Recrisis. TP being channeled by Cyber to God. They need to finish off this Baron. They finally do get it. It's going to be Victor to finish out one off. First kill away from Tristana, looking for the reset. They definitely want the kill on Zac, but they can't quite find it. Elwa Akbar, the next target here. He is coming in so quick.
Can he do it?
Oh my goodness, top lane. There is actually 1v1s against Orianna, finishing off the kill, but he's got Bloodsin on him. Warwick's coming in hot. There is no way in hell that he does anything against this.
That was so sad, but the thing is, the Varus had to turn. It was almost kind of like a life or death situation where you're gonna die regardless to this person, so why not just fight? So he had to fight there. I think he didn't use the chains of corruption, but now Godfist Yasuo, he's coming back, and he's really ready to fight.
Yep, Godfist Yasuo just doing whatever he can here, but he's starting to realize, hey, I'm mainly just tank. I do not have a lot of damage, but with Recrisis showing up here, they might have the 2 things that they need to make this happen. Ultimate popped here. Recrisis now in a bit of trouble, goes into Meganar, slams him against the Nexus. Allspark shows up to clean up the damage on Nautilus, and he's chasing through. Chaos Storm is coming through, and he's got the Ghost popped, so he's in pursuit, but he's not quite able to actually get in there and finish off that kill. Over in the jungle, Godfist Yasuo jumps in looking for a blind hit onto TSM Loose Cannon, who's just going to sit there and pop him and take his life down. Allspark actually continuing to chase here. I don't know if he actually wants to do this. He might be able to finish this one out. I'm not quite sure who that's for. Never mind. It's actually a Spirit 8 redemption pop there. An easy kill here for Astralis against Allspark, who got way too thirsty for that kill.
Absolutely completely turns the whole entire fight, whole entire chase around, because the initial fight was Victor picking off someone, but once you do that, you need to just back off and just defend. But the thing was, he got a little bit too greedy. He didn't really notice that there were other teammates other than Warwick there, so Warwick just turned, but Varus is doing so much damage.
Yeah, and look at the attack speed coming through here. Once he gets this kill, if he can, it actually took a little bit too long. They no longer have the barrier from Braum either, but they immediately just turn, get the stun onto Tristana, and finish her off. Now, Mimikyu forced to retreat there at bottom lane. Another fantastic elastic slingshot down onto Mistletoe, forcing the flash out with that Let's Bounce as well. Mistletoe keeps their life up, but still, forcing that summoner out is huge, especially for a Zac who's been consistently landing his CC.
Yeah, this Zac is just... He's applying the pressure where he needs to go, but he's also picking off, in a sense, the new champion. Because Orianna, she's pushing here in this bot lane, but once you see your teammates die in the top lane, you're the only source of pressure here on this map. So you need to get the heck out of there, but she didn't notice that.
Oh my goodness.
Nautilus
Miss flash over the wall, but the shockwave comes through. It does some decent damage, but because of these, the Braum, it's not actually able to do enough to actually get the kill on Varus. I'm sorry. But either way, they trade 1 for 1 so far in the backline. Godfist Yasuo looking to be disruptive. They get the fear as well, the infinite duress, but they need to finish off the blobs. I like how Astralis is creating space by pushing back the rest of the damage dealers of Relegades United, just making sure that they can finish off the Zac passive.
Yeah, very nice fight played by Spirit 8. It's almost just kind of like a back and forth type of thing where Spirit 8 will try and do something and then Relegades United capitalizes on it. And then the exact same thing will happen. Relegades United tries to do something, but then they go 2 for 1. So it's almost kind of like this situation where whoever just makes the less mistakes is going to win. Gnar almost got caught there, but another Wind Dragon will go over to Spirit 8.
Yep, just zoning them out there, making sure that these guys are nowhere in the area. They're not spawning quite yet, but look at the dragon advantage for these guys on Spirit 8. Not a lot of damage available for them in terms of their dragon take so far, but definitely a lot of utility. Look at how fast Mimikyu is able to move around this map and get deep vision, just speeding through at 530 more movement speed. You cannot catch this, Janna.
Yeah, that's basically her main job at this point. It's just speed into the enemy jungle with somebody, try and get the wards down, and then immediately back off, go back to base, reset, and then you can have some more wards to place all over the map. That's usually what you want to do at this point of the game on support, is you want to get your Moby Boots, then you want to go back to base, you want to refill your sights down, and then repeat.
Yep. Now more pressure from Spirit 8, just looking to pressure down the mid lane quite a bit. They're actually splitting off 4-1. They know that Astralis at this point in the game can 1v1 most anyone on the enemy team. RGU now just trying to react to wherever these guys are putting down pressure. They figure that maybe Recrisis is the best answer for the Warwick, but Warwick has already rotated to the mid lane. So a lot of lagging behind here for RGU, and it's largely attributed to the fact that they are at a disadvantage in terms of their vision. Top lane now is going to be the pressure point here for Spirit 8. They're getting some decent damage onto the inhibitor, but they've got a Zac in the middle of their team. He actually gets nobody with that Let's Bounce. Victor now under fire. They've got huge damage out of Mistletoe. Gnar now in the fight as well, throwing down the CC with his ultimate, but they all peel back and try to take out Cyber to God. Nice. Look at how much shielding is available for this front line. Are you kidding me? The heals come through as well. No one goes down on the side of Spirit 8, and that's what I'm talking about. How do you cut through a man who continually gains like 1k life over and over again in a team fight?
At one point in that fight, Nautilus was in the middle of 5 people, and he was just tanking all of the shots, and I'm like, okay, he's dead. It's probably going to be a 5 for 1 at the end of the day for this team. But then all of a sudden, Janna shield plus Janna ultimate, then you just have the default Nautilus shield with his W, and all of those combined together just created like a
my goodness, dude.
That was insane.
So much damage soaked by this Nautilus here. I wish I had the damage mitigated to self charts available for us here in the cast, but unfortunately Rito does not allow us to see that quite yet. Also, now I'm realizing one downfall of the new overlays is that we can no longer see the damage charts as easily anymore, or the scores. So for our viewers here, let me make a quick scene.
You're gonna come through, dude?
Oh, you know it, dude.
Damn. That's what we know and love. Will he do it?
All right, here it is. So now we have the ability to look through these results here. Just take a peek into a little bit of what happened that match in terms of at least scores. I think that a huge amount of this game... Sorry, I did turn my music down. A huge amount of this game was played on the back of TheSavedOne, who not only was able to hold down the pressure up in the top lane because of how tanky, or how quickly he was able to get tanky, but when it came down to grouping up for team fights, this man was absolutely unstoppable and really created a lot of space for Misselteen and TSM Loose Cannon to operate.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, it was a beautiful game played by Spirit. It was a little bit sloppy there in the mid game. But I really did like the pressure that Warwick kind of placed on the map in the early to mid game, because what happened was he saw that his team was losing and they were slowly gonna lose, but then he's like, okay, I want to get some towers. So he goes into the top lane. He takes advantage that the other team was doing Dragon, so he gets the Rift Herald and gives it to Nautilus. So then Nautilus gets tier 1 tower top lane, which is global gold as well. And then he sees that Relegades United went into the mid lane and they were trying to put some pressure in there. But he's like, okay, let me go with Tristan and let me go into this bot lane. Let me get her a little bit ahead by getting a tower. That's some more global gold. But then at that point, it basically just snowballed, where Warwick and the Nautilus, they just kind of carried both of their team. Plus the utility sources of this of the squad was really good.
Yeah, fantastic plays all across the board there, but I gotta say that Spirit 8 cannot sleep right now. They've definitely got to watch out for Godswiss Yasuo, especially on this Zac, because he showed immense early game pressure. That being said, guys, let's get set up for game number 2. Enjoy some music here. Once again, this is Ascension eSports Elder League week number 4, and our matchup is Relegades United versus Spirit 8. We'll see you guys in just a couple minutes.